Hello, welcome to Mcfc 9320 PUBcast. Hello, guys. How are we?
One question.
Very well, thank you.
Where are you on that intro?
Very well.
Me?
Yeah.
I was hiding. I was behind John.
Right.
Not
Okay.
John. Sorry, Stan. We should call you. Anyway, how is everyone?
Good, thanks, Andy. You?
We had a good weekend of football.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad at all, actually.
Do you want to start the women or the men?
Well, depends which way you like to go.
Well, let's start with the men. Should we? Trust John to lower the tone. He always does.
Always.
Right, let's start with referees and VAR. Over to you, Anne-Marie.
Oh, yesterday's referee, absolutely shocking. How he didn't add 10 minutes on, I don't know. The time wasting by Fulham at goal kicks and stuff was an absolute joke. And I'm not convinced that VAR even checked Cancelo's challenge and penalty. Because if they did, there's serious questions raised today about Terence Trent D'Arby's challenge. And, it was, I think it might not have been as strong as Cancelo's, but basically it was the same challenge and he got away with it.
Right. I think yesterday it was a penalty and it was a red card. I've got the gripe with it wasn't consistent today by the same clown at Stockley Park who was doing the VAR, who was actually the official yesterday.
Yeah.
Real. But
that's the thing, it's the consistency. What they're giving 1 week or one day, they're not giving the next day, and they can't carry on like that because, at the end of the day, Cancelo was stupid. He didn't need to do that. And, he could quite easily, have cost us the game. But, as it turned out, we still had 71% possession for the whole game, 702 passes. We created a lot more chances than Fulham did. And, thankfully, we got the penalty in the end and won the game.
Well done, Stato. Well done, Stato. I was going to mention the passes and stuff like that. But it's Cancelo. For me, Riz, he's got a tendency to be stupid like that, hasn't he?
You know what? I think every one of the City players has. Walker does it. Diaz does it. They pretty much all have a bit of a brain fart, I think is a technical word for it. Yeah, Anne-Marie's spot on with it. You don't mind it so much if there's consistency. If the bar's consistently high or consistently low. To me, it's the same person today refereeing the game on the VAR as refereed our game on the pitch. So
I think there's a delay here, Riz. I'm sure someone said that a minute ago.
No, I know they did. I'm just reiterating the point.
Big words, Rotundi.
I like to use big words.
No, but the consistency is absolutely rubbish.
Yeah, but if he gave that yesterday and didn't give it today, that's basically saying he was wrong yesterday. You know what I mean? It's like, listen. At the end of the day, we got the result, didn't we? Twitter's full of scousers crying today because it shouldn't have been a penalty, and they reckon De Bruyne dived and blah blah blah. So,
well,
we've seen them given week in week out.
But Riz, will them same scousers be saying, "Hang on, they should have had a penalty against them today for." I forget what play went down. Was it Sessignon or something like that, where Terence Trent D'Arby pushed over, and there was one just after that as well, outside the box, where the referee gave a free kick for more or less an identical push. but it gives one because it's outside the box, and didn't give the one what's inside the box. So where's the consistency in
There
that?
isn't. Right at the end of the game as well, Tottenham should have had another penalty. When there was a high boot straight into his face.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
It hit his face. So why didn't they give him a penalty then? That was a red card, really, because he wasn't stooping for the ball. It was actually at face level with him.
Are you trying to say they're corrupt and they're trying to get the Scousers back in the title race?
Well, looking like that, isn't it?
Listen, that's the only way they're going to get back in the title race. They're absolutely bobbing.
But
How they beat us is beyond me.
But
I thought they beat us.
Going back to the game itself, Stan. We still, like Anne-Marie said, we still had 71% of the possession, and although we had most of the possession, and Bernardo Silva was absolutely fantastic. We'll go through the players one by one, surely. But I'll start off with Bernardo. He was brilliant. At one point playing centre back, he was that deep. But doesn't that take a lot away of his game by rather than being offensive, being defensive?
I think when you're down to 10 men, the standard rules go out the window a little bit, don't they? But he was like a mad dog chasing a crisp bag in the wind. He was everywhere. He didn't miss anything. He was absolutely brilliant. So he took on his job and he took on all the extra little jobs that needed doing. With that VAR thing, I think, we do want the consistency. I think what's made things worse this time is it's the same bloke. You can't even say it's two different people having two interpretations. You can't be reffing one day. You're either both off or you both stay on. That's how I saw it. But once you got past that, I thought we were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit, dismissive the other week of a team that came in and defended. These were even worse. 10 men.
No.
Go and have a...
It was totally embarrassing.
Yeah, it was Leicester. They were at home and then they just decided, we'll do it at the end. But this was worse. We had an hour of 10 men. And I can't, off the top of my head, I think they might have had one chance where you might have thought. But other than that, it was all one-way traffic.
No,
Yeah.
they came for a draw. That's all they came for. But when we went down to 10 men, you'd have thought, in their heads, they'd have thought, whoa, hang on. We're at advantage here. We can actually have a go at this. But no, they just still sat back. And if I was a Fulham supporter, I'd be totally embarrassed with that.
John, in the end, they got exactly what they deserved, because that Leno in goal, he was just taking the Michael all game, and you should have seen his face, because we sit right behind that goal, and he was devastated, and he turned round just after he conceded the penalty. He looked in the crowd. I won't do the gestures and stuff what the crowd were doing. He absolutely got pelters from everyone behind the goal.
He deserved it.
And yeah, because in the end, I'm glad the referee didn't have 10 minutes on, because that made an extra 5.
Did anybody see this small lad, number 6, whoever he is, Fulham's player, trying to scuff up the penalty spot as well?
Yeah, Leno did as well. Leno did as well.
Yeah, and they dragged him. One of our players dragged him away, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think it was De Bruyne, didn't it? Dragged him off.
I think that should now be a straight yellow card or something, or
red. Red card.
Straight red.
It's cheating.
It's tampering with the game. It's not as if it's you won't see him do it on the centre line or anything like that. To do it there, you're right, Riz. It's absolutely cheating. Yeah, give him a red card. It'll soon stop that.
Yeah,
it's happening too much now. I'm seeing it. It used to be sort of like one of those things that you saw every now and then, but it's happening every game now.
Yeah.
One thing I did enjoy right near the end of the game when Haaland got took down, we got a free kick right at the end, and then Edison got the ball and he's ready to take the free kick, and he starts to waste a bit of time, and the referee's going mad at him, saying, "I'm blowing my whistle here," and he goes, "I can't hear you." The atmosphere was that loud.
Yeah.
I love that bit. That was brilliant.
But there's the inconsistency again, where all throughout the game, it's happened to us this season where Edison got booked.
Yeah.
The inconsistency again, where they'll let players throughout the game, time waste. As soon as we go and do it, we're in the boat.
Riz, have you noticed though? Have you noticed though with goalkeepers, not just with City matches, but with goalkeepers who time waste, the referees always book them right at the end. Rather, if they book them after the first 2 times they've done it, say it could be on the 12th minute, for instance, give them a yellow card. They won't do it. They won't do it again because they'll always be throwing to bring someone down. Yeah, so something needs to be done there. But yesterday, Anne-Marie, I thought Kevin De Bruyne was just absolutely a man possessed. He was incredible yesterday.
He certainly was, and I agree with the comments about Bernardo. I think the two of them literally dragged us through that game. And what I enjoyed more than anything was the celebrations at the end of the game. I don't think I've ever seen City or Pep celebrate in that way before. You know, practically a lap of honour at the end of the game.
It was like we'd won the league, but you know something.
Yeah.
It felt like we did because of what we was up against and stuff like. Yeah, it was only Fulham. Yeah, we only won by a penalty. What went under Leno, the keeper, but there was just something what everybody felt after that final whistle yesterday.
Yeah,
it's hard to describe.
We all felt like we was getting basically ripped off.
Mm.
And that's what was happening. And we beat them at their own game, basically. And it's like, I think Mike Minor tweeted something. And
was that a name check?
And he tweeted saying that you think City had won a cup. And I said to him, look, yeah, it felt like that. Because it did. At the end of that game, we were so up for it and we just absolutely battered them for the last 15 minutes, because Kev was not leaving that pitch without 3 points.
No. And even the assist, what he did eventually for the Haaland offside goal, you know, the crowd was just going absolutely mental at the goal. And then all of a sudden, this is another reason why I hate VAR. For me, there should be a 30-second rule or something like that. You know, because there's enough clowns in Stockley Park, isn't there, who can see it. But there's no advantage now for the striker. You know, what damage was he going to do with his shoulder being offside, or his, you know?
That's it. I thought they'd sort of like increased the margins. I thought they made it more difficult, you know, more advantage for the strikers and stuff.
Yeah, they talked about it, but they didn't do it.
Who's to say they're not being? Who's to say those lines are not being falsified? They only show you the result of the offside. That might not be 100% accurate.
No, it's not.
That might have been just before the ball went to him, or just after. Where's Adler? Surely, like in every business, there's audits. I wonder whether there's an audit trail for anything like that in VAR. I very much doubt it.
The other problem is, Andy, that these cameras film at 25 frames per second. They're not quick enough.
It's a bit like your background, mate.
All right. It gets there.
Go on. Sorry, Stan.
No, you're all right. No, it's just you're right. There's no accountability. There's no check. There's no nothing. You see on social media at the moment only one angle of Kev De Bruyne going over. Well, if you swing it round 180 degrees and you see it from the back, you can see his leg. He clearly kicked his leg.
Yep.
Clearly. But what, you know, why is that not doing the rounds? And why is that not getting shown on TV like 15 times like any other one would?
Right. Let me ask you. I want you in a yes/no answer. I'm going to ask you. Do you think? I'll start with you, Stan. There's corruption with VAR. Yes or no? While you're thinking about it, I'll go to Anne-Marie.
Yes.
Riz.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Stan.
I think these
No, yes or no answer.
Yes or no, come on.
No, I don't think they're corrupt. Just think
What's their excuse?
Just think they're inadequate.
Incredibly inept. And there isn't a set of rules that they can follow.
Until they have an actual company trained up to do it properly.
Exactly.
Can I have my yes, no?
I don't
Yeah,
think
go on, Andy. Yes or no?
Go on.
Yes, absolutely corrupt.
You don't have your mates checking your answers in a pub quiz, do you? So you won't have
Well,
your
I
mates.
do.
I
do.
would.
I do, and I'm bent as an
But you know
iPod
what?
note when it comes to pub quizzes. So
You know what I'm saying though? You won't have people, you won't have people at work checking your own work.
Oh, you must work somewhere trusting them, mate.
Well, I don't know that. I've been work for the biggest. I'm not so sure that.
But this way, I take my vehicle for an MOT, and when it gets passed, I take it somewhere else just to check it's been done right.
I would as well, to be honest.
I'm joking, Riz, joking. No, but there is, trying to be serious. There's definitely corruption with VAR because, and I'm not having it as they're incredibly inept or inadequate or whatever word you want to put. There's just corruption there, and it's proved it more this weekend by the same official being on the pitch on a Saturday, being in VAR on a Sunday, and having more or less identical incidents. Two different views from him. That's
It's a scouser and all in it.
No idea, is he?
no idea.
He was. Thought he was. Well,
No
I
idea.
mean, the way I look at it is this, right? When you've got laws of a game of such as a game of football, there's too much interpretation in football. When you've got a rule, when you've got a law, you've got to have black and white. You've got to be able to write that rule down so that everyone can interpret it exactly the same way. With football, there's too many variables. There's too many times where, it all depends on certain aspects of what's just gone on in that specific moment. So it's like the offside rules and stuff. You can't have it as fine margins as they're trying to make it with the equipment you've got. So if you can't do it to the level that they're trying to measure, then you can't use the technology for that particular, offside. If you're using the margins, the tiniest, like fingernails, millimeters and stuff like that, it can't be done. It can't be done because the technology can't show you that. The margins just need to alter.
Like I said,
offside. Hang on. Offside is to stop goal hanging. That's what the rule's for. It's to stop goal hanging.
Yep.
That's why it was brought in. That's why it's there. We're not talking goal hanging now. We're talking it's become a major part of the game.
That's a great shout. That's a great shout.
Players throw the offside trap. The offside trap, using a loophole in the laws, if you like, to catch the striker and make him be offside. That shouldn't be allowed. That rule's there to stop the striker being offside, not so the defenders can make that player offside. It's to stop him goal hanging. It's not being used now as it should be. It's being used as a too important part of the game, where really it isn't. It's just there to stop goal hanging, and then we move on. We need to take the emphasis off offside. That's the biggest bone of contention at the moment.
No, yeah, honestly, I'd not even thought about that's a great shout, because not only that, now it's costing clubs, say, winning a trophy wherever they finish in the league, monetary value and stuff like that. And like I said earlier, who sets that line? Where's the proof that line was drawn when the one what they actually show, if you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
the margins
just a way
that
to
fine
control
that
games.
you could show 5 or 6 different frames, and it still wouldn't be the right one that you show. No. You can manipulate them lines to make it suit your narrative.
Yeah,
Anne-Marie.
I was just going to say, Anne-Marie, what you've also got with VAR, the minute the referee gets called to the screen, he's going to overrule something. Nobody's got the gonads to go, actually, I still think, and I'm sticking to my decision.
One referee has done that, that's all.
Yeah, that was Stuart Atwell, that.
Yep.
So,
but interestingly enough, did anybody see Match of the Day last night?
I had my eye open watching it this afternoon.
Or has anyone seen the highlights of the Notts Forest game? But Notts Forest had a penalty given against them for a so-called challenge by Dean Henderson, the keeper.
Oh, he touched his leg.
Yeah, and he touched his leg. Now, I've watched it 3 or 4 times, and I'm not. No, for me, it's just not a penalty. Yeah, and the manager said when they interviewed him at the end that if that was a penalty, there was about 4 other penalties in that game that should have been given, and he went through them on Match of the Day.
Yeah, he was right.
And it's true. You can't kind of, for me, the player was going down anyway. I don't think there was enough in the touch by Henderson to bring him down. And you just, these it's not going to have a massive impact on us, I don't believe, at the end of the day. But for the likes of Notts Forest, who are down at the bottom, it's going to have a massive impact. It's the difference between getting a win yesterday and the draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, that's where I have bigger issues with it, because I think the impact it can have on the clubs lower down the table is massive.
Thing is, eventually somebody is going to end up in court over this, because the clubs are going to lose. If one goes down over a stupid decision like that, they're going to end up scrutinising it, and they're going to end up blowing them out of court.
I hope so. I hope so, mate. I hope so.
It's going to happen because they can't prove it. They cannot.
But isn't it like the game?
Say that this is correct.
But wasn't it the game? Was it Aston Villa and Sheffield United a couple of years ago?
That was
during lockdown.
Goal line technology, wasn't it?
Goal line technology.
Yep.
And it was.
They apologised, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but what good is that?
I know.
Because again, it could be the difference between a team staying in the Premier League or being relegated, and that's why you can't. There has to be more consistency in all of it.
Football is now a massive business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And these businesses are losing a lot of money because of people's stupid mistakes. So somebody's going to end up in court with it.
Riz, we've spoke about this before. When VAR come in, we I think was universal in saying, when you go down the pub now, there'll be no debate. Was it a red card? Whatever happens in a game, there used to be debate in a pub. Now VAR was brought in to take pretty much all that debate away, and we thought, what we're going to talk about now, and discussing the match, even on podcasts and stuff like that. But now we're debating how wrong VAR's been, So let's just scrap it and go back to that human element.
Just seems to be. Can't believe how they're getting it so wrong, so far down the line. Rugby's had it for years now, and I think cricket use it for certain things. They don't seem to have the same issues as what football has. And all the different sports, the way they're using it, the way they're implementing the technology, and I just think it's a complete and utter shambles. And until they can take it away, maybe trial it, do it in the lower leagues or something, and just get it right. Because it's got to be right for the Premier League.
But one VAR, I get what you're saying, but it's unfair to throw it down to a lower league because they've got more to lose.
Yeah, but don't use it live.
Right.
Why not test it?
Why not use it in the Premier League and not use it live?
Exactly. Use it in the Premier League and develop it behind the scenes, and have a what kind of sort of you could have a fantasy league going. So basically, the real league is what we see, and then behind the scenes, you have a fantasy league where they're basically judging it as though that would be what's happening. And compare the leagues at the end of the season to see what a massive difference using the technology has on the league positions and the way. And then you can start developing where it's going wrong and try to get things working so that they're right, as opposed to the shambles that we've got at the moment. And it's either human error or corruption.
Yeah, and
I can't see how they can get it so wrong.
No,
it can only be corruption.
I agree with you to an extent, Riz, but then it's when you see a challenge in real time at the game, you think, oh, that's a bit dodgy. And then when you watch it back and you see what they're seeing is a properly slowed down version of it.
Yeah.
And it looks completely different to what we see in the actual game. And it's like if we go back to when we played Newcastle, Trippier got a red card initially for a challenge on Kevin. Now, for me, it was a red card all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't believe the referee should have changed his mind on it. But that's what's happening. And it's when you see these things slow down into, obviously, it's not a natural speed. You're seeing something completely different. And it's not necessarily the reality of what took place on the pitch.
Yeah. You should be able to see different angles of it, but it should be at the same speed as what it happened on the pitch. Not zoomed in onto the contact area. You should be able to see the whole thing, as many camera angles as they've got, within sort of like 30 seconds to make that decision.
Should be
one last year that
should be transparent, shouldn't it? You know, and after each match, there should be a report for everybody to see why a decision was made. And as Anne-Marie said, and she's absolutely bang on, in real time, you know, because VAR must see it in real time as well. So why do they slow it down?
Just let referees come out after the game and be interviewed.
You may as well not have referees because they don't referee now. They're not bothered. They're not bothered.
Referees need to be mic'd up like doing rugby. Forget all this, like you'll hear swear words and all the rest of it. So what? That's down to the players. You don't hear in rugby because there's respect. So it's down to the players. So if the only reason they don't want the referees mic'd up so everyone can hear is because they're worried what somebody's going to say, as in swear words or a racist comment. Well, that cleans their act up as well. It kills two birds with one stone.
Absolutely.
So we want referees mic'd up, so then we can hear in real time what's going on. And then referees being able to come out at the end of the game and explain and maybe apologise. Maybe apologise for the decisions they've got wrong. Or come out and be accountable.
I would respect an official if they get a decision wrong. I'd respect that because at the end of the day, you know, we make mistakes in life. You know, we're not above being human or anything like that. If they make a mistake, I'd go, fair enough. You've had the go-ahead to come out, apologise. You know, fair play. But it's
doing that in Germany now. So the referees coming out, getting interviewed at the end, and talking about it.
It's what, mate?
I think they're doing that in Germany now, where the referees come out at the end of the game and talk about it.
It's no good to us though. I can't speak German.
No. Well, but like I say, if they can do it over there, why not over here?
They can. They're all the associations are part of the same corruption.
Oh yeah. But it's a way of controlling games.
Yeah, like we said, two birds, one stone. Because if somebody's being really offensive towards another player or whatever like that, the referee, you've got it. They can't say no, I didn't say it. Hang on, we've got it here.
Yeah,
you know, we've got
it's
it.
All this business. It's all this business
anyway,
where players start doing that, so they can't see what they're saying and lip readers.
But they've got the recordings of them doing that anyway because they've got it themselves. We don't hear it, but they've got the recordings themselves anyway.
Yeah, because they're all like zipping now off Rainbow, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're saying something that they don't want anybody else to hear. So it's like when you tell kids don't keep secrets. You know, they're telling things that they don't want somebody to hear or be able to lip read. That's why they're covering it up. So one, they shouldn't be saying it then if that's the case. You know, they might be sort of like saying, oh, you know, in a second, they might be giving away a tactic. So I get that. Most of the times they're not. They're covering their mouths up because they don't want saying something they shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
Or they've they've got bad breath.
Probably that as well.
Or they want Pep to have a word with them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the positives about the match because you know what we've debated so far. You know, I think it needed doing. We've actually done it quite serious, which is unusual for us lot. Mm-hmm. The game itself couldn't fault him. You know, I've been even like we say, go through the team. Ederson, I think Ederson went through a little bit when he got rested because he had a slight knock. I thought he was going through a little bit of a tough time, and since he's come back into the team, I think he's been brilliant for us. He's actually saving shots now as well.
Yep.
His distribution's got a lot better. Are you all right there, Stan? Your eyes opened up then.
Yeah, Edison saving shots. It's revolutionary.
But he's got a tendency to his shot to save ratio is not great. Do you want me to back up with stats?
It's about average.
I'm glad you didn't say yeah, because I've not got them.
No, they are. They're about average.
I think
class, definitely, and it is a weak part of his game.
Like Stones, he's getting better and better and better. You know, he's just now. You just need to keep him injury free. Akanji looked good again yesterday. You know, stop me if you think I'm talking bubbles and stuff like that.
Tell you something I've noticed.
Go on.
Diaz is sat on the bench quite a lot recently, isn't he?
And rightly so, because
Yeah.
Aki and Akanji are at the moment our two best centre backs in my opinion. With Stones playing right back, so I'm not going to class Stones as an out and out centre back at the minute. But who would you? Okay, then fully fit all our centre halves, our recognised centre halves. Who would you have if everyone was in form and fit? Who you preferred to?
At the moment, Aki and Akanji.
No, not at the moment. If all our centre backs are fully fit, fully in form, bang on the game, who would you have?
Stones and Diaz.
Absolutely, Anne-Marie.
Yeah. If there was
not
in the current moment.
Definitely Diaz. No, that's not the point though, Liz. What you're saying is if everybody is fit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, but there's a reason he's not playing as regular is because for me he's not been firing. He's having a bit of he's been having a bit of a slump. I mean that goal we conceded midweek, he stood and watched that.
And Gomez got the stick for that, and I actually thought it was Diaz's fault. But here's the reason why I've asked that question as well. I think we brought this up on the show before. Diaz, at the moment, he always has to play when he's playing now. He always has to play on the right side of the centre halves. When he's with Stones, he plays better when he's on the left side of the centre halves and Stones is on the right. And you might think, well, it's only a couple of yards, but it's a huge difference if you're a left footer and a right footer.
Massive difference.
So yeah, I think we're lucky that we've got this, the centre backs that we have got. Because I think Aki, again, I thought Aki was brilliant again yesterday. The way he drives forward, pretty much like Stones.
I think he left Cancelo exposed though for the penalty and the sending off. If you look at where Aki was, he was nowhere near where he should have been.
Good point.
No, you may be right, but I mean overall, Aki's game is.
Oh no, agree.
Yeah.
Say something I noticed yesterday though. Akanji, he can place a pass.
No, yeah.
He's definitely a ball player.
Yeah.
So
he's a baller. He's a baller, all right, John.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, as I say, Haaland just looks so up for it as well. When he come on yesterday, he was like a man possessed. He could have had
not leaving us anytime soon, mate. He's here for the next 10 years.
You can tell how much it means to him. At one point yesterday, we had 3 City fans warming up from different countries: Haaland, Foden, and Gomez. It's just absolutely incredible that. But you could just tell Haaland, as soon as Pep went like that to him, Haaland was just like, you could tell he just wanted to come on it, and make the difference.
The crowd lifted so much when Haaland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing.
But I think we give some credit to Alvarez as well, because I think obviously it was a good goal yesterday, but also during the week, 2 assists and a goal.
Yeah.
I think, we're beginning to see what he is capable of.
He was brilliant. He was brilliant.
His game, I felt for him yesterday because when Cancelo went off, that was sort of the end of him, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you like.
But when he scored
that was like it was like watching Aguero on the pitch yesterday.
When he scored that goal yesterday, though, I looked round at Haaland and he's cheering and he's clapping. He loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we've got we've got at the moment, and this includes the fans. Yesterday, that's why we celebrated like we did, because we know what it means to the players, and the players know what it means to us. We're at the moment, I hate saying it, sounds very Scouse, but we're one family at the moment. We're all getting it. We all get it. The players get it, the fans get it, the management get it, the tea lady gets it, the car park attendant gets it. She does on a regular basis, I've heard.
Does she?
She does.
Paul, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What were the Fulham fans like yesterday when we got that penalty?
Oh, mate.
I know you're right next to him.
Yeah. Oh, they were giving it large. It was so funny. They were giving it large, especially when the goal was disallowed.
Yeah.
Then they just went when we got that penalty. I mean, I was bricking that we missed. There was some giving it large, City fans, and there was some of us older ones were thinking, "Oh my God, here we go. We're going to miss this now." For a split second,
I didn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I was turned around
because obviously I was at the completely opposite end to that with my eyesight. I just have to react with what the fans do around me. So
it was a penalty, and it's interesting. Riz, that's interesting what you say, because when anything happens, because where I sit behind the goal, when anything happens, like in the first half, get people all around me saying, "Oh, it's a penalty," or whatever, and I go, "I can't see it." I react. I react to the people who were, in the south stand and stuff like that. So when De Bruyne got that yesterday, there was no doubt in my mind that was a penalty.
Oh, it was ace though. Oh, they were devastated, and we all stayed. We all stayed at the end. It was a bit annoying because some of the stewards were trying to move us on quickly and all the rest of it. But we all stayed and cheered and waved to the players, and the music were pumping out. It was bang on.
I want to ask you something now, and this is an interesting one. I'll start with you first, Dan.
Yep.
Jack Grealish. Your thoughts on him?
I think he's 100% playing to a plan that Pep's given him. And the huge problem is that we don't know what that is. So it's winding people up. He's not scoring, he's not making assists. But what you do when you see him moving off the ball and he's pulling people out and other players are getting in, some of them balls that come across from De Bruyne, they won't be able to make them if he wasn't pulling people out of their positions. Should he take people on more often? Maybe. But then again, we're there, our game's based on keeping the ball. So if he's taking it on and we lose it, then there's a great big hump up the field, and Cancelo's a bit short, or one of the fullbacks is a bit short, and they get in. Everyone's going to be looking then. Why did you do that? So he's in a bit of a no-win position. It reminds me of, do you remember Adrian Heath years ago? Nobody knew why he got a place for 2 years, and yet he was picked week in, week out.
Kendall and Reeds, mate, that's why he got a game.
Yeah, you see, that's not why he got the game, is it? Because he was doing something. It's just that we didn't know what he was doing, so it never looked like he wasn't following the script.
Bribery, was it?
No, it's not bribery, is it?
All right. Cheers, Dan. Cheers, Dan.
It's the hard work that nobody wants to do or nobody recognises.
All right. Anne-Marie, Jack Grealish.
It's a tricky one. I kind of agree with Stan that he's been given a job to do by Pep, and he's doing that job, but he has a tendency to be frustrating because there's no final ball from him very often. You want him to take the man on and not constantly try and cut inside. And often when Cancelo's running up the left, he needs to be out wide. So Cancelo's got someone to play the ball to. I think Pep's happy enough with him because he is doing exactly what he's been asked to do. I believe that. But I think we're not seeing the best of Jack Grealish.
I agree. Riz, if Jack Grealish wasn't playing how Pep wanted him to, Pep would not pick him.
100%. I agree with what everybody's saying at the moment. We'll have to wait until his memoirs come out, and then we'll find out, what we were told to do and all the rest of it. But for me, Stan's right. He won't be in that team if he was doing his own thing. His shackles are on at the moment. You can see he's caught in two minds himself. Because his natural footballing brain is wanting to do one thing, but he knows he's being told by the best manager in the world, the best coach in the world, you need to do this. You're in my team, this is what you need to do. And you can see him caught in two minds. He's in his transition still. And for a player to come into this team, playing like he played when he was at Villa, come into this team and now be completely changed how he wants him to play. That is so difficult. It's like being a left wing playing on the right wing, or you're like somebody's all just still in there. They're completely different positions, but he's doing a job, and if he wasn't doing what he was being asked, he wouldn't be in that team.
Exactly.
Wouldn't put him in that team just because he cost £100 million.
No.
Not put him in that team.
The other thing, while I remember, is Pep's not slow to have a go at somebody. He was having a go at Foden yesterday because Foden gave up chasing the ball in about the 85th minute. He's still on him, right at the death. He doesn't care. He's on him. Very rarely see him, shooing Grealish.
Do you know why, Stan?
I've seen him quite a lot.
He didn't pay 100 million for Foden. That's why.
I don't think money comes into it. I genuinely.
It don't.
My turn.
John, right before I want to ask you something regarding Grealish. What you can integrate in there with Jack Grealish. I get what Riz is saying here. It might be frustrating Jack Grealish that his shackles are on, but he's not going to come out in the media and say, "Oh, this is the way the manager wants me to play." And also, just before he got rested for one of the Champions League matches, Pep played him about 3 or 4 matches on the inside where Jack Grealish was more offensive and he looked class. Since he's moved back wide, he's playing like he was before he got before he got put in the centre, more offensive in the centre.
Yeah. He plays better in the middle. I don't think he's suited out wide. But for me, Jack at the moment is still looking like the little fish in a big pond. I still think he looks frightened to death at times. And he is frightened to death of losing that ball.
He very rarely loses the ball, though.
No, he doesn't. He gets fouled.
Very rarely. He very rarely loses the ball. And that's the kind of play what Pep likes.
Yeah,
that's
it
because
is.
he's playing
I've
the way
seen
he's
Pep
playing.
many a time berating him down the side of the wings. And yes, he's not doing exactly what Pep wants him to do. And there's times when Pep wants him to take players on, and he's not doing it. So Jack is still learning, and it's going to take him, I think, quite a long time to learn Pep's way.
Interesting. Right. Next match up is a
Chelsea.
Cup match on Wednesday against Chelsea. Raheem Sterling's having a mare for them. So I think we all know what's going to happen on Wednesday, don't we?
Yeah, he'll score 2 against us.
I wouldn't rule out. I watched Chelsea today, and they were absolutely shocking. I think I tweeted it as well. They're an absolute shambles. But we always try to help everybody turn the season round.
But Arsenal didn't play that well today either, and they still won. But I really don't think Arsenal are going anywhere soon. I think it'll be a chase all the way to the end with them.
And I think that reiterates. I think a lot of City fans feel the same way, John, because when that final whistle went yesterday, I think there was a bit of recognition in that. Listen, that was a huge 3 points. Not 2 points lost, but a huge 3 points. So, and would you any of you start with a strong squad? Well, starting 11 on Wednesday.
I think that will.
I would start with a strong squad. Well, the strong 11, as you say. End of the day, they've got one more match after that, and then they're off to World Cup. So why not?
Which is against Brentford next Saturday, which is an half past 12 kickoff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Half 12 kickoff, yeah.
Half 12.
That's my Christmas footings and all that. Half past 12. Last game before Christmas.
You've got to remember, no matter what we think, it's Pep, and he wants to win his trophy. And I think he'll want to get it back.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Pep wants to win everything.
You might get the keeper change. You might get one or two other bits. Hopefully, he'll bring in Rico, who will speed up the demise of Walker. But apart from that, I can't see.
Oh, Cancelo will be unavailable because of his red card, because that counts in the League Cup, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Wait,
Was that red card? Was it a 3-match ban or just a 1-match ban?
One
just
match.
a 1 match.
Yeah. 3 matches for violent conduct.
You might see Cole Palmer. Other than that, I can't see much.
I'd like to see this Borges lad.
Did you see?
Yeah, he scored 4 yesterday, didn't he?
He did.
Is that in the 6-1 thrashing of the Rats?
I must admit, I love the celebrations taking the mickey out of Ronaldo.
Oh, I know.
Before we move on, speaking of United, did you see their result today?
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah. Brilliant.
There's
Just
something
the
about
gift.
there's something about 3-1s today for United because the women have just lost 3-1 as well.
Oh, did they? I was 0-0 when I was watching it earlier.
Yeah.
So
So,
they
They hadn't
keeps on
conceded
giving
a
out.
goal until today, had they?
no, they've had 3. But first time, do you know what? I looked at who they played. First team they played this year, and they've had 3 rattled past them. They've not played anyone yet.
Right, go on then, John. Let's finish off with the women, as it were. Great 3. I didn't see the match today, was it? Yeah,
I didn't see it either.
I did, so I'm not going to profess that I did, but
I'll be a spectator for this one.
but I read up on it, and today 2 own goals by the same player from Reading, and Bunny's got another one.
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. It wasn't a crash bang wallet game. It was not going to be the most exciting game you're ever going to see. Far, far, far from it. And I'd agree with Anthony on that because I don't think you thought it was it really wasn't the best of spectacles. But I thought we were looking a lot more solid, and we've got them. Okay, they were on goals, but they were on goals by balls put into that little diamond where you score goals. And that poor defender didn't have a chance.
I thought it was square where you score, well, oblong where you score goals.
No.
No, it's in a diamond-shaped net.
No. You've got to get the ball in the little triangle between the posts and the 6-yard line. If you can get the ball in there, it's going to cause that defence problems. And Lauren emptied it twice, and that poor kid, there was nowhere for it to go. She's facing the goal, she stuck her leg out, it's gone in the net. And it happened twice. That's not poor defending or anything, that's just good football from the City. And then Bunny Shaw, she did the usual, scored the goal you didn't think she'd score, but then missed a couple ones that you thought she might have scored. But they are looking a lot better, and that defence, that bench now is far, far stronger than it was last year.
So Anne-Marie, there was a lot of changes today, including Ellie Roebuck. She was on the bench, wasn't she? Esme Morgan was made captain today. I'm glad for Esme because she's blue through and through. From when she was born. Imagine what it's like being a City fan and captaining, the club what you support.
Andy, I can only dream about it. Even now at my age, I would nearly kill somebody to be a mascot.
So, would you say the closest thing to you being
Anne-Marie with a full kit on?
No, she's closer to the
full kit.
No, Anne-Marie's closer to the first team squad than we actually think.
Anne-Marie, I know you love me.
I love it. Oh, God's sake. Stop it, Andy, now.
We've got to get that.
Who made that, mate? Who made that?
I wondered, John, who made it?
Who made it?
I think, I think for me, it's such a great thing to see. And I wish they had this kind of setup when I was younger, because I would have given anything to
everything would have been in black and white, though, wouldn't it?
No.
Marie, would you have been a goalkeeper?
Well, I was always, when I played, because I played hockey at school and I was always a defender. I was the kind of person you couldn't knock off the ball, Paul.
Kind of
So-
person you couldn't knock off.
The ball.
Oh, sorry.
So I'd like to think that I would have been a defender because I'm not a runner, so I'd have been no good on the wings or anything like that. But I'd have been pretty solid at the back.
Sounds as though you could have been a fullback. Just need a nice comfy chair.
But what was, I think I can only imagine what Esme Morgan felt like today, because it would have been, as a kid, it would have been one of my dreams to do something like that.
You're in the England squad and you're captaining your team. Perfect, isn't it?
Marie,
Exactly.
when you were like young, so I mean, I don't know how old you are, but had rugby, football split at that point. Had the two codes separated.
I'm younger than you, Riz. But like at school,
Everybody is.
no, but at school, the boys used to play football every dinner, and they would let me join in. But that was as far as it ever went, because there was no team for me to go into. There was no, and I was, would even now, if I thought I could manage 90 minutes, I'd give it a go, but I wouldn't be able to.
I think
Story of my life, Anne-Marie, don't worry.
We should get a podcast football team together and give you your dream, putting on a Man City kit running out. That's what we need to do.
Can you get somebody at the club to put it in as a mascot for one of the women's games?
I
think I'm a bit old for that now.
I'd love to see your little
Never
chunky
too
knees
old.
in the shorts there, Anne-Marie.
Oh, we can do it for, you're never too old.
I think I might be. I think,
Can we get it arranged, boys? Shall we arrange it?
We've got.
I think I'd get the mick ripped out of me.
You get
No,
the what
you
ripped
wouldn't.
out of you?
The mick.
You wouldn't.
Oh, sorry.
We'd be there
Don't
cheering you on.
swear, Andy.
Who would you like to lead you out, Anne-Marie? Whose hand would you like to hold?
Well, in an ideal world, it'd be Steph.
No, it'd have to be Bunny. She's bigger than you. You wouldn't look out of proportion then.
My name's Anne-Marie and I'm 10 years old and I'm the mascot. You need that voice for this.
Hiya, Esme. Can I hold your hand walking out? My name's Anne-Marie. And I love Mary.
Oh my God. What have we become?
Sadly,
You've got to make this
Obviously, the
happen.
butt of
That
your
minute.
jokes at the minute.
sadly, it looks like we're becoming Jim will fix it, but there we go.
Now then.
Ooh.
Northern, rattle, jewelry.
So,
Anne-Marie, you thought you'd come here today to come to the podcast and watch Manchester City ladies play. Well, no. We fixed it for you. We eat a milkshake on a roller coaster.
Now then.
And also bring on first team ladies.
right, guys, before we go, or Sood, or you both, anybody else get anything before next week's final podcast for another week?
Or Christmas.
Final podcast for another week.
Yeah, we'll carry on through the World Cup.
Yeah, why not?
Are we doing a World Cup watch?
Yeah.
Watch along.
I think we should do one of them round at Andy's.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
He could pick us all up. We could go over to Andy's, drink beer, and do a proper pub.
Adam will pick us all up.
Because you can look. It's because you can see the Jaeger behind me, innit?
Head right. Had my eye on that little bottle there for years.
In fact, we could go
Who do you think will come back as the champion?
we could go to 10 acres and have a game of five-a-side.
No, did I tell you I played at St George's on Friday night?
No,
Was it
you
that
didn't
time?
mention
Oh,
it.
you're
No.
breaking up, Andy. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I had a great game as well.
Is that at the pond?
You know-
I had a great game as well.
You actually put that on the tweet, didn't you? You put on the tweet that here I am. Here's me and Adam playing at St George's Park, whatever it's called, and I had a great game as well.
I did.
That's for your teammates to say, not you.
No, the linesman said that to me.
The linesman.
The
Oh,
lines.
you snorted.
No, they had a referee and linesman. It wasn't just a knockabout, you know.
There's
No, well, If we're going on like that, I took
Yeah.
my nephew to his first game of the season yesterday, Adam, and he played in his game today for his club, and they won 7-0, and he got man of the match.
What, when he's a boy? Why has he got a man? And it's person of the match now.
All right, person of the match.
Anne-Marie, you should be so proud.
No.
I am very proud of him, Riz.
So proud.
Also, can I make a mention as well? My son was in a boxing fight last night for
Anyone?
the armed forces for mental illness and PTSD. He won his bout last night, so I'm very proud of him. So actually very proud of him.
Very good.
Called Ashley, ain't he?
Yeah, it was a great fight. Honest as well, he got fight of the night as well. So there was like 8 fights.
Should we have a little quiz before we go?
Go on.
Right, we'll start off with Anne-Marie. Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, you've got to name this player or former player. You ready?
Okay.
This is for Anne-Marie only.
Yeah, it is the correct decision. You know, it's taken a while. Been a difficult journey for a lot of people. You know, mostly me.
It's an Irish fella.
Is it?
Yeah, it sounds Irish.
Yeah, he's Irish. Oh, he's Irish, Anne-Marie, definitely.
So, any yes or
Can I
no?
come in? It's Andy Morrison. It's Andy Morrison.
Well done, Riz. Andy Morrison.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
Sounds Irish.
Hey, you've not even got one of them machines that makes your voice change, Anne-Marie. Right. Are you ready, Stan? You ready?
Yep.
And I was just fortunate that I was good. I wouldn't say I was good at all sports. I certainly didn't excel at all sports. I could do most sports at sort of school level, but that was about it. Anybody?
Riz knows, doesn't he?
Stan Gibson, the groundsman.
Do you need drug testing? Put your hand up if you want. If he doesn't know, go on.
No idea.
Go on, Riz.
Not as confident as I was now.
Go on
I
then.
think it's Mike Summers.
No. Anybody else?
Just rubbish that.
Go on, Anne-Marie. Soon as you didn't get your own.
Is it Tony Buck?
No. John.
Raheem Sterling.
No, that was David White.
Oh, right.
Sounds a bit different nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Are you sure about all these?
I'm positive.
I think you're making that one up.
I ripped the audio myself.
Have you been on the VAR machines at St George's?
I've not. Oh yeah, I did play there, didn't I? John, here's yours. Are you ready?
Go on.
Oh, that's a bit of a thingy one. That I'll give you a different one.
Rubbish.
I'll give you a different one. That's a bit low.
Andy Savage. That's what it was.
No, I'm
Not that
gonna,
low.
Yeah, it was quite weird because the City fans would always, at the time it was happening, City fans would always be cheering and.
Sounds like Paul Dickoff.
oh my god. Do you want it again?
Go on.
Yeah, it was quite weird because the City fans would always, at the time it was happening, City fans would always be cheering and.
I know all these, mate. I'm going to win this quiz. Go on, Anne-Marie.
Is it Sean Wright Phillips?
Are you ready,
I
Riz?
said that. Yeah, I am.
Is
Music, mid-period Genesis, but feeling a bit dangerous, Chris Rea, and even a bit of Sting on his own without the guys from the police. But
and by the way, it's not always City players or ex-City players. It could be celebrities as well.
Can you play it again, please?
It totally changed the bar now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
music, mid-period Genesis, but feeling a bit dangerous, Chris Rea, and even a bit of Sting on his own without the guys from the police. But it,
Curly what?
No. No. Got a different one.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
that was
Can I have a guess at that one?
Of course you
Yeah.
can.
It's not Rick Wakeman, is it?
Anne-Marie, you're correct. It's not Rick Wakeman.
Singleton.
Who?
That Singleton fella, John Stapleton.
No.
Valerie Singleton.
I tell you what. Here's a clue, John. You're his straight man.
Pardon?
Oh, the lad
Johnny
on the
Vegas.
street.
Mike McLean.
Ah,
That's it.
Oh, wow.
okay.
mid-period Genesis. I'm feeling a bit dangerous. Chris Rea. And even a bit of sting on his own without the guys from the police. But it,
He was on Talk Sport today.
Was it? Yeah, he has a gig on there. Right, here's your. Was that yours then, Riz?
It was, but you will let me have another go.
Okay, I'll let you have another go. You ready?
I'm being bad.
I think about 18, 19. So as long as he was out there on the field, they always had a chance.
I know this. I know this.
Go on.
What's his name?
What's his
It's
name?
the ladies' manager, who Anne-Marie don't like. It's what's he called? Taylor. No,
Gareth Taylor.
Go on,
Gareth
Anne-Marie.
Taylor. Gareth Taylor, that's it.
I thought it was Neda Manua.
It is. It's Neda Manua.
No.
Right, here's a bonus one for Anne-Marie, seeing as she's got a load right. You ready?
Go on.
I've seen that, but I think you can nowhere. And then after like, yeah, I could do something.
Mahrez.
But well done, Anne-Marie. Seeing as you were shocking on your own, you recovered very well on everybody else's. Fair play to you.
Thank you.
So,
The win.
for those who are watching this, if there's anybody watching it, there's a little taster of the quiz. What's coming up? We're going to be having some prizes from our great sponsors. 3 Retro. They've confirmed they're going to, put something in the prize for us. We've got a few other things going on.
I've got some headlight bulbs.
A book from Aquagas.
John's wrote a book.
Riz has
No,
got
I
some.
wrote the book.
Riz has got some dodgy MOTs and stuff like that.
Yes, I have. I've still got some of those left. So you're going quick though.
So yeah, again, thanks for your for the sponsors and stuff like that. Not just for the show, Aquagas and Prestige Car Repairs. Proper prestige, but not at prestige prices. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I could sponsor Anne-Marie when she comes on the pitch with a City kit on. We could have prestige written on the back as well.
So I think we'll leave it there. Have a wonderful week, guys, and we'll.
You too, Andy.
And we will do it all again next week.
Always a pleasure. Great to see you all.
Always a pleasure. Never a chore. Adios.